For over 100 years, the British cycling team was very unsuccessful. They only won one single gold medal in their entire history. People in the cycling world did not respect them at all. In fact, a famous bike manufacturer even refused to sell bikes to the team. They were afraid that other professional teams would see the British riders and stop buying their products. Change seemed almost impossible for them. The team was stuck in a long cycle of failure. Year after year, the results were always the same. Fans and riders were tired and had very little hope for the future. They practiced hard, but they did not see any real progress on the track. It felt like they were fighting against an invisible wall. They needed something new, but they did not know what that change should look like. Everything changed in the year 2003. The team hired a man named Dave Brailsford. He was not like the coaches they had before. He did not talk about winning every race immediately or working until the riders were sick. Instead, he brought a very strange idea to the table. He called it the aggregation of marginal gains. He wanted to improve every part of cycling by just 1%. Most people thought this was a small and weak plan. How could 1% change anything in a major competition? But Brailsford was very serious. He looked at every part of riding a bike. He looked at the seats and the tires. He looked at the clothes the riders wore. He believed that if they improved many small things, the total results would be a huge victory for the whole team. They began with the bikes. They rubbed alcohol on the tires so they would grip the road better. They asked the riders to wear electrically heated shorts to keep their muscles warm. They even used wind tunnels to find the best racing suits. These changes were small, but they were the start of a revolution. The riders began to feel that something very different and special was finally happening to them. Small improvements are the secret to a better life. If you find these stories helpful, please subscribe and join our community. Your support helps us create more content about growth and success. Together, we can learn how to build better habits every single day. Let us continue the story of how these tiny changes led to a massive and unexpected victory for the British team on the world stage. Brailsford did not stop with the bikes. He looked at the riders' lives outside of racing too. He hired a doctor to teach them how to wash their hands properly. This simple change meant they got fewer colds and stayed healthy for training. They even tested different pillows and mattresses. They wanted each rider to have the best sleep possible every night, no matter where they were in the world. They even painted the inside of the team truck white. This helped them see small pieces of dust on the floor easily. Dust can get into the delicate bike engines and make them slower over time. No detail was too small for them. They looked at things that other teams ignored. They focused on the tiny bits of life that we usually forget. This was their new way of thinking. 5 years after Brailsford arrived, the results were amazing. During the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, the British cycling team was unstoppable. They won 60% of all the gold medals available for cycling. They were no longer the team that everyone laughed at. They were the best in the world. Their system of small changes had worked much better than anyone in the sports world ever expected. 4 years later, they did even better at the London Olympics. They set 9 Olympic records and 7 world records. That same year, a British rider won the Tour de France for the first time. In 10 years, they won 78 world championships and 66 Olympic medals. This success was built on thousands of tiny 1% improvements. It was a revolution of the small that changed everything for them. We often think that the only way to succeed is to set big goals. We want to lose 20 pounds or earn $1 million. We focus our eyes only on the finish line. But goals can actually be a trap for us. They give us a target, but they do not tell us how to get there. Many people have big goals, but they never reach them in the end. Think about a professional race. Every runner has the exact same goal, to win the gold medal. However, only one person wins the race. This means that the goal is not the thing that makes the difference. Both the winner and the loser want the same thing. If they have the same goal, the goal cannot be the reason for success. The real difference is in what they do every day. Success comes from your system, not your goals. A goal is a result you want to achieve, but a system is the process that leads to that result. If you are a coach, your goal is to win a trophy. Your system is how you recruit players and manage practice. If you focus only on the trophy, you might forget to practice well today. The system is what you control. Goals are about the future, but systems are about the present. When you focus on a goal, you are always waiting for something to happen. You think, once I reach my goal, then I will finally be happy. This puts your happiness in the future. It makes you feel like you are failing right now because you are not at the finish line yet. It is a hard way to live. Systems allow you to enjoy the journey. When you love the process, you don't have to wait for the end to feel good. You feel successful every time you follow your system. If your system is walking for 20 minutes, you win every day you walk. You don't have to wait until you lose weight to feel like a success. Every step is a victory for your new life. There is another problem with goals, the finish line effect. Imagine a person who trains for a marathon. They work hard for many months. But after they cross the finish line, they often stop running completely. The goal is gone, so the motivation is gone too. They go back to their old, lazy habits because they were only running for the race, not for themselves. A system is different because it has no end. It is a way of living. You don't do it to finish, you do it to continue. True long-term thinking is goal-less thinking. It is not about a single accomplishment. It is about a cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. You are building a life, not just reaching a point on a map. The process is the real reward. When we only look at goals, we feel a lot of pressure. If we don't see progress quickly, we want to quit. We think our hard work is being wasted because we haven't reached the goal yet. But in a system, every small action is important. The work is never wasted. It is just building up for a future moment. You are growing even when you can't see it yet. Busy adults often have many responsibilities. Setting huge goals can feel overwhelming. It feels like one more thing to fail at in a busy week. But a system is manageable. It is about the small things you can control today. You don't need to change your whole life in 1 week. You just need to follow a simple, daily process that works for your schedule and your goals. So, forget about goals for a moment and look at your habits. If you have a good system, the results will follow naturally. You don't need to worry about the score of the game. If you are a basketball player, you just need to focus on taking good shots. If you do that consistently, the score will take care of itself in the end. Focus on the action, not the outcome. Most of us try to change our habits by focusing on what we want to achieve. This is like building a house from the roof down. Real change happens from the inside out. To change your behavior for a long time, you must change your identity. You must change the way you see yourself and who you believe you are deep down. This is the foundation of growth. There are 3 levels of change. The first level is changing your outcomes, like losing weight. The second level is changing your process, like going to the gym. The third and deepest level is changing your identity. This is about your beliefs and your self-image. This is where the most powerful and lasting change lives. When you change your mind, your life changes with it. Let us look at an example. Imagine 2 people who are trying to quit smoking. Someone offers them a cigarette. The first person says, "No thanks, I am trying to quit." This sounds like a good answer, but this person still believes they are a smoker who is trying to be something else. They are waiting for their behavior to change. They are still fighting against their old identity. The second person says, "No thanks, I am not a smoker." This is a very small difference in words, but a huge difference in identity. This person no longer identifies as a smoker. Smoking is not part of their life anymore. They are not trying to be someone else. They are simply being who they are now. They have moved past the old version of themselves entirely and forever. When your behavior and your identity match, you don't have to fight yourself. You don't need willpower to do something that feels natural. If you believe you are a healthy person, you will choose healthy food because that is what a healthy person does. It becomes a part of your character, not just a task on a list. You are acting in alignment with your true self and your values. Many people walk through life with old labels. They say things like, "I am bad with technology," or "I am always late." These labels are part of their identity. When you tell yourself these things, you give yourself permission to keep doing them. You act according to the story you tell yourself about who you are. You are following a script that you wrote for yourself long ago. To change your identity, you must start small. You cannot just decide to be a new person overnight. Your identity is built by your habits. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. One single act does not change you, but the repetition of many small acts builds a new belief. You are proving your new identity to yourself every day. If you want to be a writer, don't focus on writing a whole book. Focus on writing one paragraph. Every time you write a paragraph, you are voting for your identity as a writer. You are telling your brain, "Look, I am a person who writes." Over time, these votes add up and your belief changes. You stop saying you want to write and you start saying you are a writer. If you want to be a fit person, every time you go for a walk, you are voting for that identity. You are not just burning calories. You are proving to yourself that you are an active person. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. This shift makes the habit stay because it is who you are, not just something you do. This is why small habits matter so much. They provide evidence of your new identity. They are tiny bits of proof that you are becoming the person you want to be. Even if the result is small today, the psychological change is huge. You are slowly rewriting the story of your life, one action at a time. Each day is an opportunity to cast a vote for your future. Don't worry about being perfect. You don't need a perfect record to win an election. You just need the majority of the votes. If you make a mistake, it is just one vote for the old identity. As long as you keep voting for the new one most of the time, you will change. Success is a slow and steady process. You are building a new version of yourself. Ask yourself, who is the type of person who could get the results I want? If you want to be wealthy, ask what a financially responsible person would do. Then, do that one thing. Focus on being that person today. When you change your identity, the habits become easy and the results follow you wherever you go. Your outside world will eventually match your inside world. We often blame our lack of self-control when we fail to keep a habit. We think we are weak. But the truth is that our environment is much more powerful than our willpower. The world around us shapes our choices every day. If you want to change your life, you must change the space where you live. Your surroundings are either helping you or they are working against you. Think about a kitchen. If there are cookies on the counter, you will probably eat one. You don't eat it because you are hungry, you eat it because it is there. Our eyes see a cue, and our brain wants the reward. Most of our daily actions are simply responses to the things we see around us. We are reacting to our environment instead of acting on our intentions. People with high self-control don't actually use their willpower very often. Instead, they design their lives so they don't have to use it. They keep the cookies in the cupboard, or they don't buy them at all. They make the good habits easy to see and the bad habits hard to find. They design for success. They make the right choice, the obvious choice in their home and office. The first law of habit change is to make it obvious. You need to create visual cues for the habits you want to start. If you want to remember to take your medicine, put the bottle next to your toothbrush. If you see it every morning, you won't have to remember to do it. The visual cue starts the habit for you. You don't have to think. If you want to practice an instrument, don't hide it in a case in the closet. Put it in the middle of your living room. When it is right in front of you, the friction to start is gone. You are much more likely to pick it up for 5 minutes if you don't have to go find it. The environment is inviting you to practice your skill. You can also use implementation intentions. This is a simple plan. I will perform a behavior at a specific time in a specific location. For example, I will exercise for 10 minutes at 5 p.m. in the park. This takes away the need to make a decision. When the time comes, you already know exactly what to do. You don't waste energy thinking about it. The second law is to make it attractive. We are more likely to do something if we look forward to it. One way to do this is temptation bundling. You pair a habit you need to do with a habit you want to do. For example, you only listen to your favorite music while you are cleaning the house. This makes the work feel much more enjoyable. This makes the boring task feel like a reward. You start to associate the positive feeling of the music with the work of cleaning. Over time, you stop dreading the task because your brain knows a reward is coming with it. It is a simple way to make your systems more enjoyable for yourself. You are training your brain to like the things that are good for you. Our social environment also matters. We are like mirrors. We reflect the habits of the people around us. If your friends all eat healthy food, you will probably eat healthy food too. If your friends all spend money freely, you will likely do the same. We want to fit in with our tribe. We want to be accepted by the people we spend our time with. To build better habits, join a group where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. If you want to read more, join a book club. When you are surrounded by readers, reading does not feel like a chore. It feels like the price of belonging to the group. You do it because everyone else is doing it too. It becomes your new social norm and identity. You can also use environment to stop bad habits. Make the cues invisible. If you watch too much TV, put the remote in another room. If you spend too much time on your phone, put it in a drawer while you work. If you cannot see the cue, the craving often disappears. You are removing the spark that starts the fire of a bad habit. Hard work is much easier when you do not have to fight your surroundings. A scientist once changed a hospital cafeteria by moving where the water was located. When water was easier to reach than soda, people drank more water. They didn't even think about it. They just took what was right in front of them. Choice is often just a matter of what is easy. Look around your room right now. What is it telling you to do? Is it telling you to sit on the couch and watch movies? Or is it telling you to read and grow? You are the architect of your own world. Build a space that makes your best habits the easiest things to do every day. Your environment should work for you, not against you. Many people wait for the perfect moment to start. They want to have the best plan and the best equipment. They spend weeks researching the best shoes for running. This is called being in motion, but it is not taking action. Motion feels like progress, but it does not produce a result by itself. You can plan forever and never actually move an inch. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book. You have to get in the water. Taking action means doing the thing, even if you do it poorly at first. The third law of habit change is to make it easy. We naturally follow the path of least effort. We should use this natural human tendency to our advantage instead of fighting it every day. Friction is the distance between you and your habit. If you want to go to the gym, but it is 20 minutes away, that is a lot of friction. If you have to pack your bag and find your keys, that is even more friction. Every extra step is a chance for you to give up and stay home. We want to remove these steps. Reduce the friction for good habits. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Put your work bag by the door. Prepare your healthy lunch in advance. When the morning comes, the path is already clear. You don't have to think or work hard to get started. You just move forward with your plan. You have already done the hard work of preparing. On the other hand, you should increase friction for bad habits. If you want to stop browsing the internet, leave your phone in another room. If you want to stop eating junk food, don't keep it in the house. Make it so difficult to do the bad habit that you simply choose not to do it at all. Force yourself to work for your distractions. The most important tool for making things easy is the 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes get out my yoga mat. This sounds too simple to work, but it is the secret to starting something that will actually last. People often ask, what is the point of reading just one page? The point is to master the art of showing up. A habit must be established before it can be improved. You cannot optimize a habit that does not exist yet. If you cannot show up for 2 minutes, you will never show up for an hour. You are training the habit of starting. Think about a man who wanted to lose weight. He went to the gym every single day, but he stayed for only 5 minutes. He would walk in, exercise for a few minutes, and then leave immediately. Most people laughed at him. They thought he was wasting his time. But they did not see what he was really doing. He was building something much stronger. He was becoming the type of person who goes to the gym every day. He was building the identity of an athlete. After a month of showing up for 5 minutes, he started to stay longer. Because the habit was already there, staying for 10 or 20 minutes was easy. The hardest part, which is starting, was already finished and mastered. He succeeded. We often try to do too much, too soon. We try to change everything at once, and we get tired and quit. It is better to do less than you hoped than to do nothing at all. A small habit that you actually do is much better than a big habit that you only dream about. Tiny actions lead to big results if you stay consistent. Standardize before you optimize. Focus on the first 2 minutes of the behavior. Make it as easy as possible to start. Once the habit becomes a natural part of your day, you can slowly make it harder or longer. But in the beginning, the only goal is to make the habit stick to your schedule. Don't worry about being great yet. Your life is a series of decisive moments. These are small choices that lead to big results later on. Choosing to put on your running shoes is a decisive moment. It determines what the next hour of your life will look like. If you make the start easy, the rest of the path follows naturally. You are steering your day in the right direction. Remember, it is not about how much you do. It is about how often you do it. Consistency is the key to everything. By making your habits easy, you ensure that you can stay consistent even on the days when you are tired or busy. Small steps are the only way to climb a mountain. Just keep moving forward one easy step at a time. Why is it so easy to repeat bad habits but so hard to form good ones? The answer is in how our brains process time. Bad habits usually have an immediate reward. Eating a sugary snack tastes good right now. The bad result, like weight gain or poor health, happens much later in the future. Our brains like the immediate pleasure. Good habits are the opposite. The immediate cost is often high. Exercising is hard work today. The reward, like a healthy body, is far away in the future. Our brains evolve to value the present more than the future. We want the instant win. This is why we struggle to stay on the path of long-term growth. We need a way to win today. The fourth law of habit change is to make it satisfying. To keep a habit, you need to feel a sense of success immediately, even if it is very small. You need a little win to keep your brain interested in the process. This is why tracking your progress is such a powerful and effective tool for any adult trying to change. Consider the paperclip strategy. A young salesman kept 2 jars on his desk. One was empty, and the other had 120 paperclips. Every time he made a sales call, he moved 1 clip to the empty jar. He did not stop his work until all the clips were moved. This gave him a visual and physical reward for his hard work. He could see his progress with his own eyes. Every clip was a tiny victory. It made the boring work of calling people feel like a game. This is the power of habit tracking. It makes the invisible work visible to you. It gives you a feeling of satisfaction right now, which keeps you going. You can see yourself becoming more successful. You can use a calendar to track your habits. Put a big X on every day that you follow your system. Soon, you will have a long chain of marks. Your only job is to not break the chain. Seeing that long line of success makes you feel proud and motivated to continue. You don't want to lose the progress you have made. However, life is not perfect. You will have bad days. You will get sick, Or you will have a late meeting at work. You might miss a day of your habit. This is normal, and it happens to everyone. The danger is not the first mistake. The real danger is the second mistake that follows it. That is when a new habit starts. There is a very important rule: never miss twice. Missing one day is an accident. Missing 2 days is the start of a new bad habit. Successful people make mistakes, but they get back on track immediately. They don't let one bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month. They focus on the next right move. When you miss a day, don't beat yourself up or feel like a failure. Just make sure the next day is a win. Showing up on a bad day is the most important thing you can do for your identity. It proves that you are committed to yourself, even when things are difficult. It shows that you are the type of person who stays the course. Habits are like a bank account. Every time you do a good habit, you are making a deposit into your future. Every time you miss, you are not making a deposit. You don't lose everything if you miss one day, but you want to keep your balance growing. Focus on the immediate satisfaction of being consistent and watching your progress grow every single day. We often expect progress to be a straight line. We think that if we work twice as hard, we should see twice the results immediately. But in reality, progress often feels like nothing is happening for a long time. Then, suddenly, everything changes in a moment. This is the hardest part of any journey for any person. It requires deep patience. Imagine an ice cube sitting on a table in a cold room. The room is 25 degrees. You slowly heat the room up. 26 degrees, 27 degrees, 28 degrees. The ice cube is still there. It has not changed at all. You are working hard to heat the room, but you see no result. It feels like you are doing nothing at all. 29 degrees, 30 degrees, 31 degrees. Still nothing. You might think you are failing. You might think your effort is being wasted. But then, the room hits 32 degrees. Suddenly, the ice begins to melt and turn into water. A 1-degree change did what all the other degrees could not do. The breakthrough has finally arrived after all your hard work. Was the work of the first few degrees wasted? No, it was not. It was being stored. This is what we call the plateau of latent potential. All your hard work is building up energy inside the system. You just have not reached the breakthrough point yet. You must be patient and keep going. The change is happening under the surface where you cannot see it. This is why many people quit. They work for a month and don't see a change in their body or their bank account. They think, this is not working. But they are just in the middle of the plateau. They are at 31 degrees. They are so close to the breakthrough, but they stop too soon. They miss the transformation because they lack the time. Mastery requires the ability to handle boredom. When the excitement of a new habit wears off, it becomes work. Successful people feel the same boredom as everyone else. The difference is that they keep going anyway. They find a way to fall in love with the daily practice. They know that the plateau is part of the path to being the best. Trust the process. If you are doing the right things every day, the results will eventually appear. The ice will melt. The breakthrough will happen. You just need to stay in the room and keep the heat on. Your efforts are not being wasted. They are being saved for a massive change that will surprise you and everyone around you. When we look back at our lives, we see that big things come from small beginnings. The seed of every habit is a single, tiny decision. But as that decision is repeated, a habit sprouts and grows strong. Its roots take hold and its branches reach toward the sky. It becomes a permanent part of who you are and how you live. The math of small improvements is truly incredible. If you get just 1% better each day for 1 year, you will end up 37 times better by the time you are done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day, you will decline almost down to 0. Small things add up over time. Your choices matter more than you know. An atomic habit is more than just a small change. In science, an atom is the smallest unit of a bigger system, but it is also the source of immense power and energy. When you master these small units of your life, you gain the power to change your entire world. You are building a system that works for you every day. Every choice you make today is a brick. You are building the house of your future. You cannot see the finished house yet, but the bricks are real. If you keep laying them one by one, with care and consistency, you will eventually have something strong and beautiful to live in. Your future self will thank you for the work you do today. Look toward the horizon. The journey of 1,000 miles is just a long series of single steps. Don't worry about the distance. Just focus on the step you are taking right now. Success is not a destination to reach, but a way of walking. It is the power of small things. Start your journey today and never look back.